clap, clap, clap. Okay, here we go. All right. Where are we at? Episode 95. Sons of bitches. Hello, hello, I got my old turkey gizzard there flapping. How we all doing out there, guys? I'm Gizzardin. I'm Aaron Forsyth. I'm at the Shlicketty DooCast studios with my buddy Mike Anderson. Here he is.
We do the doors, we do the joke, and make the thing. All right, here we are. Welcome to the Shlicketty DooCast, episode 95, if you can believe it.
95 is a lot.
If any of you have been with us from the beginning, it's been a long road.
Yeah. If you had 95 of anything, it would be excessive. Like if you go, I got 95 bowling pins in my garage, you'd be like, I got to do something with these bowling pins.
Got 95 parking tickets.
Right, yeah.
You're right. Yeah, 95 does. I mean, if it's any real actual object, if we're talking dollars, it's not that much.
Right.
But if we're talking actual real world things, like I got 95 buckets in my garage. You're like, that's a lot of buckets.
Yeah, yeah. 95, yeah. Is there anything that you could have 95 of and it would be a win? Well, you're at podcast, but I mean, other than that, 95, you go, huh.
Podcast episode.
Yeah, if I had 95 guitars, you'd be like, I got a problem.
Seriously, I had a friend of mine out in Arizona. He said he just had his guitar collection, and he was like, I got to get a Strat. I don't have a Strat. Just get one of those. You know what I mean? And it was like
one of everything. Yeah, if you go with the, I need one of the. If like you and I are studio guys, to buy one guitar, like I went through that thing. I need a Telly, I need a Strat, I need a humbucker pickup, I need a this for a detune.
But that's true.
Yeah,
that's
you'll
true.
actually end up with about a good 16 guitars.
You
Well,
know.
that's the thing. I'm always fascinated with like bands and musicians who live in New York City. Because when you're in New York City, you're living in a closet.
Yeah.
And I was looking at, like in my spare room, I went into my spare room the other day in my house, and I'm like, oh, open the door, and then there's like 16, cases for all the guitars, you know?
Oh, yeah.
And I'm like, Jesus. And I'm thinking the space that this takes up, just the cases alone.
The cases alone gets to be a thing.
Yeah, I was like, if I ever moved to New York City, I would have to literally bring one bass and two guitars, you know?
See, I'm lucky at my house.
And that'd be a lot.
Underneath the stairs, there's space there.
Yeah.
I put all the guitar cases there.
Yeah.
But the trick is you can't just like lay them flat and stack them on top of each other because then, you can't get to anything.
No. Yeah, and heaven forbid you go, oh, I need that Allen wrench. Oh, it's in the butt. Well, I gotta, or where it's in one of these.
I got that new set of strings. Oh, isn't that?
Yeah, my clippers. Where's my clippers? They're in one of these 16.
Yeah.
Let me keep opening one up.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. We should probably stop talking about
Yeah,
this.
we're musicians.
Yeah. Anybody who doesn't know anything about this is probably completely lost. But suffice it to say, you guys,
95 of anything sucks.
Well, yeah. But if anybody's interested in any of this, we could easily talk about any of this. Any of the music stuff and all that sort of stuff. Like, we don't even tap into that, but yeah.
It's funny, we're retired musicians, but we could talk right along. We could probably have, a musician podcast,
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We could easily talk about, music, bands, and more technical stuff for more specialized people that are into it. Whoa, we could.
Or just the
100%
psychology behind this and that and this and that and this and that.
Creative
We've
process.
Been to hell and back, so you go,
Yeah.
okay, I know what they're.
We talk about songwriting stuff and riff writing, making a band work, getting along with others, creative collaboration, how to work with people and get stuff done. And then the technical aspects like recording and mixing and all that sort of stuff.
There is, but it's a niche market.
Yeah, niche market, 100% niche market.
Kids aren't really into bands anymore.
No, they're not. And
Back when we were in high school, everyone had a guitar, and eventually everyone's goal was to have their own band. So
yeah. Well, it was for us. It was like the MTV boom. For us, the MTV boom was sort of akin to like in 1964 in January when the Beatles were on Ed Sullivan. Like that year, 1964, guitar sales were through the roof.
Yeah.
Everybody was playing guitar and starting bands.
Yeah, so we found it, 85 till
85. I don't know what you're talking about.
Well, that's kind of the boom. The 1984 till about 1989
you're
was
losing.
like, whoa, everyone had a guitar. You know what I mean?
Well, like when we were going through talking about the movies and the pop culture and the music from the day, it's like, MTV started August 1st, 1981, so it was around then. But yeah, by the time like 83 rolled around, stuff was like, people were cottoning on. The machine was like really fired up in 84, 85, 86.
And every idiot had a guitar.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of guitars in the market, so we were always buying and trading, because Johnny up the road just got a Charvel, come see a Charvel, and then a week later he's selling it, and you go, we'll buy a Charvel off him,
Yeah, and also this was back in the days before things got really crazy with prices and collectors and that sort of stuff.
That's true. Everything seemed to be under the 500 point, So,
yeah.
So,
And they were even like, they were like old school Strats and P-basses rolling around that you could get your hands on every once in a while.
And people were making them too a lot. There's a lot of like weird Frankenstein-y kind of guitars around. Kind of like when kids made dirt bikes. Remember every kid in the neighborhood had a homemade dirt bike BMX thing?
Yeah.
Didn't have brakes. Guitars were kind of like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, there's a lot of late 70s like tinkering and just, custom making your own art project thing,
Yeah, and everyone had, hey, I got this Charvel, that's ground hum. And be like, oh, God.
Well, yeah, when they were doing
There's always something wrong with
doing the cheap, crappy Charvels.
But still, it was fun, though. It was a fun time,
Yeah.
But it was annoying because we were really dead serious about rocking and trying to rock and make a band and be good. And all these Johnny-come-latelys that are like clogging the drain was like, oh God. I mean, I didn't see a clearing of the drain till the early 2000s, quite honestly.
Yeah.
Through the 90s, there was way too many bands, it was just, and way too many idiots with guitars that shouldn't even have guitars.
You can say it this way. Back in the day, we were in that rehearsal space. Your band was in there, and then and then I saw it, and I was like, I got to get in here. And I had a room there for like, 12, 14 years or something like that?
Yeah, you maintained everything,
Yeah, and there were 10 rehearsal spaces in that. And there were times where it was full with everybody. And we knew all the other bands. Yeah. There were times we'd throw the door open and be like, hey, we're, doing this over in our room. If anyone wants to come
there'd be a metal
join.
band, a weird funk band, a tribute band over there, a cover band. Yeah, everyone just kind of...
Yeah, we all like knew each other and got along.
Weird.
It was a scene,
Yeah, it wasn't weird. No, it was kind of weird. No. I mean, it was kind of annoying because sometimes, like, you'd be in your room and you'd end a song, and you'd hear your neighbor, and be like, Jesus Christ.
Even magnified on that, there were nights where, like the weekend before, like Thanksgiving or something like that, where everybody was going to be tied up with Thanksgiving next week, so they're going to make sure to get practice in this week or whatever.
Yeah.
There were times there'd be 4 or 5 bands rehearsing at the same time.
Oh, yeah. And
it's just cacophony, just noise.
Yeah. Or it'd be like if you weren't playing out that weekend, you'd be like, well, most of these bands are gigging, so at least the weekend, we got the weekend.
Oh, yeah. There were definitely times like that where like everybody was doing gigs except us, so we were like, oh, we'll do some recording tonight.
Yeah, the place is quiet.
Yeah.
Other than people pulling in you'd be like, oh man, I think I need cigarettes or something like that. Oh wait, it's getting close to 2. So-and-so is going to be bringing their gear back any time now. Somebody will have cigarettes, like things like that. There's always something
you would think,
somebody's always coming in and out, You
weren't even hardly driving back then, were you?
Not really, no.
You didn't really start the driving until after you moved out of where we were living, right?
No, I got a car then. But I think you were going, about 97. I had I had a car, but I didn't drive it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. If it was 97. Because how much longer did you live down in the house?
What, after you moved to Arizona?
Yeah.
Fuck.
Just another year, right?
A couple years. It was like two seasons, because Rich Best took your place, so it was like 2 seasons.
Yeah, because we were there like what, just 1 year? Maybe 2?
2.
Felt like it.
Yeah, I don't know. It seemed maybe longer. I don't know. Hard to say. It was like 97. My mom donated, she gave me the Buick. I got like a big Buick Skylark.
Was it like tan or something?
Black. No, that was my original Buick Skylark with the slip and tranny.
Because I do remember there was a time where you had a car and you hit me up on a Saturday morning. You're like, I was going home after the bar last night. I don't know if you had some girlfriend and you were dropping her off. and you had gone off the side of her driveway because of the snow. You couldn't see, and it ended up being a bit of a ditch.
Yeah, I remember that.
And you called me up on a Saturday morning, and you're like, dude, we got to go try and get my car, you know. I'm like, where is it? And you told me the story, and I'm like, okay, so, because I just had a regular car. I didn't have any trucks until I got it to Arizona.
Yeah, no, I had that Skylark was shit. And then I let it go because I didn't have a job, and and it was sitting in my dad's driveway forever. But my mom gave me another Buick Skylark, a nice luxury, a big black thing, you know.
Yeah,
but
that's good.
That one was kind of cool. That was the one where you ever have in a car where the padding on the roof?
The headliner.
The headliner fell down.
Oh, yeah.
So it was resting on my head the whole time as I'm driving the headliner, and everyone who'd be in the car would be like holding up the headliner. And then at one point I took clips and I had to like clothespins trying to keep it tight, but it would pop out, you know?
Yeah, you know what the number one thing that makes the adhesive that holds that stuff up, that destroys that adhesive? Cigarette smoke.
Oh, well, I was smoking cigarettes, yeah.
Yeah.
And she was from Florida, so I think it was a Florida car, probably dried out that stuff. So, but you couldn't get rid of it because underneath it was this dried up dust.
Foam.
Yeah, this foam that was kind of like turned into dust.
Yeah, it was urethane foam that dried out and starts just flaking off.
Yeah, it'd be like asbestos.
Yeah.
So I couldn't get rid of that.
I know. I had the same thing going on in this Ford Ranger pickup truck that I'd bought. It was actually my guitar player. He bought it brand new in Chicago. That's what he drove to Arizona in. So, I mean, I had like 285,000 miles on that thing.
Jesus.
Yeah, but I mean, that was actually one of the more dependable vehicles I had. That thing, the engine ran great, and the transmission and brakes and stuff like that, but everything else was shit. Headliner totally falling down.
That sucks.
My drummer, Rick, he's a mechanic. Every time he used to get in the truck, he was like, I'm going to take this thing apart. He's like, give me this thing for like 4 hours. The thing falling down your head, he just grabbed it and just ripped it up.
Really?
And it was like, every time you would get in and open the passenger door, the dinging would keep going. Even if you put the seatbelts on.
Yeah.
He was like, it was making him nuts. He's like, I'm going to tear that thing out. I'm going to find that speaker and tear it out. And the other thing was, if you open the passenger door, the dome light would stay on for like 15 minutes.
Wow.
So you're trying to drive home in the dark with the dome light. It's like,
oh, God.
Yeah. The radio didn't work, you know. Everything on the inside was shit.
Yeah. Mine had a random ghost. It would just like randomly overheat. It was the ignition module would overheat.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, which in those days I couldn't fix it. I didn't know what it was. And it would just like, you'd be driving down the road and all of a sudden the car would just ring, ding, ding, ding. It would stop.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And then I'd pull over, I'd kind of, I'd coast to the side of the road, and then I'd wait about 15 minutes, you know, and then all of a sudden, boom, fire it back up. Okay, we're out of here, you know.
You know,
And it proceeded to get worse and worse.
Remember when I called you like a month ago or something like that, where I was having car trouble? I was trying to go to the grocery store on a Sunday, and it was like a blizzard. It was like 2 degrees or something like that. And it was some like weird vacuum lock thing on the car that was going on.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't able to breathe or get oil or something like that. And it was like that. I'm trying to make it down the road, snow everywhere, you know, people are like nuts, you know, trying not to get run into. And it's just blah, 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 blah.
Yeah, and it
it's
just
like,
stops, and you're like, all right, now what am I going to do?
And it's like trying to put it in park, try and start, you know, it was like, oh my God.
It's stressful, yeah.
Oh,
There's a couple times where it did that, before I knew what it was, it did that a couple times where I'd have like gear in the back, and you know, coming home from practice, and we lived in the hood. So it was kind of like, oh God, it's 11 o'clock. Oh God, right in front of the hood, you know, and it's like, you know.
Well, our rehearsal space was, totally.
Yeah, and it'd be like, oh my God, I'm gonna die.
Yeah.
You know, and there was a couple times I walked to our old apartment through the hood carrying my bass, you know. But come to find out, it's like we were long-haired guys in leather jackets, so you know, all the crazy, weird inner city weirdos, you know, they actually were kind of cool to us, you know.
Yeah. I mean, we didn't cause trouble with anyone.
Yeah, I almost tend to think there's like, when you're at that lower level of poverty, there's honor among thieves, you know.
Yeah.
You know, you're like, oh, he's a long-haired guy.
Yeah, I mean, they knew we weren't going to harass him or hassle him or be a dick to him, and we're all night people.
Yeah, there's this guy who was this old black guy at the gas station. He'd say, "You Marilyn Manson motherfuckers! You don't fuck with the Marilyn Manson motherfuckers." And they were like,
It's always funny what people's frame of reference is when they don't know stuff. You know, it's
like some old guy calling you Marilyn Manson.
Like if you show people like a video or like a band, it's like metal stuff.
Yeah.
And it's always funny. People will be like, "Oh, you guys sound like," and then whatever the heaviest metal band that they're aware of is what they'll throw in.
Yeah.
Which sometimes it's interesting. They'll be like you know, if you're like in a thrash band and they'll be like, "Oh yeah, you guys are just like AC/DC." It's like we're nothing like AC/DC.
Yeah.
You know, nothing against AC/DC.
God, you sound like Slayer. I'm
Right.
like, what? No.
Yeah, like if someone said you guys old band like Cyclone, like oh you guys sound like Slayer. It's like no, we're nothing like Slayer.
No, we don't.
Sure, there's distorted guitars and the drums are loud. And,
We have long hair. That's about the only correlation there.
Right?
Yeah, we have 6 strings on the guitar. It's about the only thing in common.
It's always kind of funny. Yeah, because usually people are either going to say Metallica, AC/DC, or what was it? What would people say? Like Metallica, AC/DC.
Well, yeah.
I mean, mainstream people who don't know metal.
Oh, don't know metal.
What's their reference for metal bands? You know what I mean? Maybe they've heard of Metallica, they know it's a metal band. Maybe they heard of AC/DC, they know it's...
Yeah, or they would just be like, rah, you sound like... Rah, 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 rah. You know, they just do the bear voice, and they'd think you sound like a bear voice.
Yeah.
You know. Rah, 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 rah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If they got no frame of reference.
No, none at all.
But it's always interesting. Like some people go, "Oh, you guys sound like Black Sabbath." It's like, no, we sound nothing like Black Sabbath. But it's interesting that's your reference point.
Black Sabbath. Yeah.
Going back to like, you know, if somebody like in their mid 40s or whatever, you know, going back to when they were, you know, 17 or 18, and you know, back in the day when we were kids in high school stuff, people were like, "Oh, you guys sound like Blue Cheer," and you're like, "We sound nothing like Blue Cheer," but okay.
Yeah, you guys sound like Bad Company. That's killer. You guys that song sounds like a Bad Company song.
You guys sound like 38 Special. No, we don't.
No.
Yeah, Bachman Turner, man. You guys sound just like it. We do not.
Have you ever know what that reminds me of? I was thinking this the other day, and I said, remember how everyone would joke about the commercial Freedom Rock? Remember the record Freedom Rock?
Dude, so it was an album, it was a compilation album sold by like K-Tel. And they had these ads on TV.
1-800, yeah, late at night.
All the time. Because they were pretty successful with the ads. And it would always be, they would play an excerpt of an old song from the 60s, an old hippie song. And then they'd have some like hippie guy with a headband looking like, you know, Chong.
Yeah.
You know, pops his head and goes, "Hey man, is that Freedom Rock? Turn it up."
And that commercial would be on, it'd be that, and then it'd be like Dionne Warwick's Psychic Network would be in the next commercial on.
No, but also I remember them having songs. Remember they had like the Motown box set?
Vaguely.
It was like 5 albums with all like the Motown hit songs and everything like that, you know? Which actually wasn't a bad deal. You know, if you just wanted like all the, you know.
Yeah, they were double records or they ended up being CDs, but they're double whatever.
No, the Motown thing was like 5 albums.
Oh, yeah.
So they'd have like, you know, 5 or 6 singles on each side.
Well, my point was, what do you think, what would be the over-under on how many units did Freedom Rock sell?
Oh, well, with that market, with that demographic?
Yeah, in that day, did it go diamond? Did it go platinum? You know, or or was it just like, or did they just fudge the number and say, we're not going to tell anybody because it was kind of a scam?
No, I couldn't put a number on it. It's really hard to imagine. I mean, like dollar amounts or units shipped, like what are we talking? I'm not sure.
Yeah, that. But, would you say they probably sold 3 million copies?
I can't even get my arms wrapped around the numbers to where it would even make sense to me, I guess. What's platinum? 1 million? Like if platinum is 1 million?
Look it up. You got the answer in your phone.
All right.
All the answers are at your fingertips.
All right, if you want me to.
We've got information machines at our fingertips.
That is 100% true. So like, let's see, how
many units is a platinum record?
Units of, let's try this, of Freedom Rock were sold.
Oh, that's a good one. You're going right to it.
Let's see. Freedom Rock, a famous 1980s TV compilation album, marketed with the slogan "Turn it up," does not have publicly disclosed exact sales figures.
I told you, I think they're fudging. Yeah, they probably made way more than they disclosed. Because it's probably an underground operation.
They got the ads on YouTube. Or Reddit, somebody put it up on Reddit.
It had to be a lot. Because in those days, it was pre-cable days. I mean...
Yeah, the mail order, they sold in 1987 for $19.95 for 4 records.
Wow.
With 3 cassettes for $24.95.
Yeah.
Which,
I mean, it's a good deal. I don't know anyone who ever bought Freedom Rock or even had Freedom Rock. We just knew the commercial. But I mean, had you ever known anybody who had bought a record or a cassette off the 1-800 number on TV?
Yeah, because they were doing these compilations at the time. Yeah. So they had the Freedom Rock was hitting the people that loved that movie The Big Chill, because that was all 60s hippie music.
Yeah.
And, you know. And then there was
the Motown.
There was the Motown collection. There was also I remember seeing the ad for Rolling Stones hits.
Oh.
Because I remember that one they played a lot. That might have been more like when I was like 16,
And there was something
17.
called like Love Jams or something like they do like around like
Yeah.
Love Jams, and they'd be like R&B slow jams.
Yep, yeah, a lot of Luther Vandross, a lot of
Love Jams,
Barry White, that sort of stuff. You know. Marvin Gaye sort of stuff.
It was. Now, here's another question, and I got to think about it. Did anybody...
Platinum record in the United States is 1 million units sold.
That's what I thought. Okay. Did anybody sell their record... In those days, like, I almost want to say maybe Kenny G or Michael Bolton might have, but did anybody sell their record and go, hey, you know, that Freedom Rock's coming? You know, was that their a marketing plan, you know, from a legit artist? Or did legit artists
to do like direct commercials?
Yeah,
I didn't. I don't.
It's kind of like who's the guy who sold his guitars, Fernando or whatever his name?
Oh yeah, the old guy that would like learn how to play guitar. Was it Fernando or something like that?
I'd say right. Yeah. And you get a guitar and a book.
Yeah, it was something with an F, wasn't it? It's not Fernandez. Fernandez was a parts company.
Yeah,
they made guitar replacement parts.
Yeah, I forget the name of it. But yeah, it's an interesting way to market something, you know. And 1-800 numbers were huge back in the day.
Huge. Well, it all
California Psychics was a thing.
Well, all that stuff was
sex lines
was coming out of when you break down TV. TV as a medium only functioned in prime time hours, right? Outside of prime time hours, you had like syndication stuff. Then you had daytime stuff. Mm-hmm. Daytime stuff being soaps or game shows. Syndication stuff being reruns of older. You know, like when we were. Early 20s or whatever, in syndication was Simpsons, Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, Cheers. When we were kids, MASH all the time. You know.
Well, then the commercials were, the main time to watch. The commercial time was filled up by normal commercial marketing.
Right. So in 87, they started doing what they called first run syndication, which was where a production company would make a whole series of a show and then sell it into the syndication market where it's first run syndication, right? Shit like Star Trek: The Next Generation, Hercules, The Amazing Journeys or whatever it was, Xena Warrior Princess, Baywatch. What was the one with Lorenzo Lamas on the motorcycle?
Right, I know what you're
Renegade.
talking about. Yeah.
You know, all that stuff was first run syndication because it wasn't network sort of stuff. And that did so well that it opened up this whole syndication market because there were all these cable channels. And so they started running late night infomercials where you could buy a half hour of programming and make the whole half hour a commercial for your product.
Yeah, and there's a lot of that.
A lot of that.
Yeah.
Because that stuff really started to work.
Yeah.
We all got sucked into...
Like a Foreman grill. We'd watch, you and I would bake one and watch the George Foreman grill.
It'd be a half hour demonstration to show you all the things you could make in it and how it... Because... Dude, there were ones for, what were those, food dryers? What are those, dehydrators?
Food dehydrators were one, yeah. There's
they
a
had
lot
them
of food
for the
cooking things.
The knives, the Ginsu knives. Ron Popeil with his Ronco stuff, he had it for the GLH hairspray stuff with the spray paint.
There's workout items too. There's always like a Tae Bo or a workout thing.
The Billy Blanks Tae Bo stuff, that was
yeah, and the guy with the blonde mullet did the workout thing.
Tony Little,
right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Susan Powder, Stop the Insanity.
Yeah, so that shit was, it was basically QVC on the main channels.
Yeah, but the whole point was that they could afford those commercials at night, late at night, because they could get the airtime for so much cheaper.
Sure.
So those of us that were up late, because back then, staying up late was the cool thing to do because you had Johnny Carson, and after Carson you had Letterman, which was like what 12:30 to 1:30,
something like that.
Because Johnny Carson was 11:30 to 12:30.
And we were out of school, so we were
even when we were in high school,
Yeah.
I was staying up watching Letterman most every night.
I'd watch a monologue and then I'd pass out unless there was a guest worthy, and then I would try to stay up. But I never usually made it.
His early stuff was great when he was at NBC.
I remember staying up for the it was going to be a David Lee Roth interview, and I was like trying to stay up.
Well, then after that, after Letterman, then they would have like later with Bob Costas. Or
the Bob Costas was fun.
Yeah, the Bob Costas interview show was great. So there was a lot of staying up late. It's like Saturday Night Live hours. So then you get that on Saturday. So it's like we were up late all the time.
You think of all this. Now here was the insane concept, which kids don't understand now. You can make a phone call now, and it's pretty much free. It feels free.
Oh yeah.
But to call a 1-800 number, they'd be like $5.95 for the first minute, $3 for the next additional minute. They'd have sex lines like, "Hey, you want to hang out with a neighborhood girl?" And there'd be some girl in the bed that would, and it'd be a recording. You
Talk to real girls.
Yeah, and it'd be that shit. And imagine the suckers that called that, the suckers and losers that were calling that.
And like you said, the Miss Cleo psychic lines.
Yeah. And it was all just a bunch of bullshit.
And she wasn't the only one.
Yeah.
There was also that old white lady with gray hair doing the psychic lines. And
Dionne Warwick had her own thing.
Well, she was Psychic Friends Network. That's
she was
right.
Psychic Friends, yeah.
So there was Miss Cleo, Dionne Warwick doing the Psychic Friends Network. There was that white-haired lady.
Yeah. But people were calling 1-800 numbers. And
1-900 numbers.
Right. So they get your credit card numbers.
Because 800 is toll-free, but 900 charged.
Now, I don't know if you remember this, but you ever try to call somebody long distance back in the day, and your dad would go, "What's with this long distance bill?" We'd have $200 long distance.
That's what I was going to say. And that's the way it was for us. I mean, up until we were like almost 30 when you got the cell phones.
Yeah.
Because it used to be like when I first moved out to Arizona, we couldn't just like call and talk on the phone.
You kind of disappeared for like 4 years until cell phones came into play.
Yeah.
And once cell phones came into play, Mike's back.
If you talk on the phone for like half hour, 45 minutes long distance, it's like an extra $35, $40 on your phone bill.
Yeah, it wasn't feasible. It wasn't feasible.
It really wasn't feasible. So once the cell phones came in, it was like free long distance. It was like, holy cats. Like,
yeah.
Really?
I remember having like free after 9. Like I'd tell people, don't call me until after 9.
Oh my God, I remember that.
Yeah, I had a free after 9.
But then also to that point in the early mid 90s, remember all the everybody had these long distance calling plans.
Yes.
MCI and Sprint and all this sort of stuff, and they ran ads constantly on television. Like 25% of the ads on TV were these. What were they like? Like they were like cheaper long distance rate things.
I think so, yeah. And then they invented like these calling cards and things like that were like credit cards that would get you extra money,
Which
points.
that was, so if you watch Sopranos these days, they have a whole thing. One of their side scams was this calling cards thing, which later, when Big Pussy was getting, busted in by the FBI, they were like, what did Pussy tell him? And they're like. They're like, oh, the calling card thing. Those were the calling cards.
Yeah. What a scam. But you think what a grift the phone companies made
back then
from us ignorant people and kids and people, and families that just, every household had horror stories of an huge phone bill.
Especially when those 900 numbers came out.
Yeah.
Because it used to be when MTV first came out, they'd have things like, call up and vote on which video you like or whatever. Those were 900 numbers, and you get the charges.
Yeah, and it'd come on your phone bill, and then you'd see $2.99.
Yeah.
My dad would see like 15 of those, and like, oh, I was just voting for spring break.
Right. Yeah, so it's
Yeah.
almost like things like American Idol couldn't have had, they did do stuff like that. But didn't they do like America's Home Videos?
Then, yeah, the first 2 seasons of American Idol, I remember watching it. That's when texts were first starting. That's when cell phones, so you could text, but your texts were kind of limited.
Yeah, this is the early T9 texting.
Yeah.
Where it was set up like the phone, where to get to like an L, you had to hit the button 3 times or whatever.
Yeah, so they'd give you a number like, hey, you want to vote for Ruben Studdard? Call the text BBB 332.
Yeah, text 33601 or
and then they'd all be standing in a line holding up their number.
Oh my God.
Yeah. 4.
Right? Man, yeah. Kids today have no idea like how it used to be like with the communications.
Yeah, it was the Wild West.
It
But I
was
just
nutty.
think of the grift that occurred, the marketing grift that somebody at the top was really combing in the money.
Oh yeah. Oh,
You
for
know?
sure.
And we were just stupid suburbanites, so we were just caught in the system. We didn't know better.
Well, plus also the thing is that most people don't realize was that, probably right before we started paying attention to shit, probably when we were like 9 or 10, they broke up the phone company. When we were little kids, there was only one phone company.
Bell.
That was it.
It was Bell Phone Company, didn't it? Didn't your dad work for the phone company?
GTE.
He was GTE. That's
General
right.
Telephone.
Huh?
General Telephone.
Oh, yeah.
Well, it was, I think it was all AT&T. And then AT&T had to divest, and then you got Bell,
Oh, yeah, because I remember Bell
and then General Telephone, and these regional ones.
yeah.
Like regional, like 3 or 4 states, they would serve, something.
Remember when the phone book was a big thing?
Oh, yeah.
Our phone book is massive.
When we were little kids, the phone books were still legit. You could say to your mom, like, oh, I want to go play at my friend's house. Oh, what's his name? What's his last name? Oh, and you tell them a name, and they can look it up in the phone book, and they call over and oh, hey, this is Mike's mom. Is it okay if they come
And
over
there'd be like ads and coupons in there and ads. It was, it's like, oh, okay.
especially the Yellow Pages.
Yeah.
The Yellow Pages was huge.
Yeah.
That was, I still think that way. If it's like, oh, God, I need a plumber. Like, I call you and I'm like, you got a plumber? Other than that, if left to my own devices, I'm looking for a Yellow Pages.
Yeah.
Because I just want to go
we
to
Google.
like tree trimming. And then you can't trust the online. The online
Yeah,
is
because they have a
overrun.
good marketing plan.
It's overrun with Angie's List and Yelp and all these aggregate things. And then you get if you're looking for tree trimmers, there's some, treetrimmer.com, and it's some clearinghouse. Have you ever done one of those things where you contact one of those like general clearinghouse things?
I did Angie's List once.
Not Angie's List, but it's one of these things like if you go to like flowers.com, flowers.com is going to route you to some local florist in your
I have
area.
done that, yes.
And you have no idea which one it could be,
That's true. I've had flowers delivered, and then all of a sudden you go, Auburn down the road is 1-800-Flowers? How was that? But really they just called in the number like...
It's any of the florists
farmed it
register to be a provider for the thing. So it's like I did that one time in Arizona. I don't know what it was. We were looking at like mortgage rates or something like that, and it's like talk to a mortgage professional, or you're just trying to contact this one company, but it ends up being one of those provider databases.
Yeah.
And then like literally within 5 minutes, I'm getting like 9 emails and 7 texts, and people start calling, and it's like...
Yeah, once I think I put heating and cooling into one of those.
Right.
Oh,
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, and then it's just inundated with like, every Tom, Dick, and Harry.
Yeah, and somebody, we're calling from Pittsburgh, we're calling from New York, we're calling
Right.
from... It's like, well, you're not even in my neighborhood.
Not even
Get outta
local.
here.
Yeah, we're not paying travel rates.
Yeah. Wacky. Yeah, it's the Wild West out there. It's the Wild West.
Well, it definitely was. Now it is nice to be all sort of a little bit more streamlined and together.
Yeah, I will say technology has really streamlined things, got us more focused. Everything's kind of what you want, and there's no more
Back then,
hackery.
to even think about the concept of what we have now with the cell phones and being able to call anybody directly without wires, out in the open, that sort of thing, accessing the internet and stuff from our phones wirelessly.
I remember watching an episode of Miami Vice, and he had the big old phone.
Yeah.
And I was thinking to myself, that would be cool. I wonder what it'd be like to have a phone and drive down the road talking on the phone.
I think they have those as Bluetooth devices.
Oh, yeah?
So you Bluetooth pair it with your phone and be driving down the road with the big old
the old vintage.
Yeah, the retro looking thing.
Yeah. I thought it was mind-blowing. But then I always predicted in my head, I was like, because I saw enough Star Trek, I was going, someday we're going to have our own tricorders. But really, in my dumb head, I didn't realize it was going to be a phone. I thought we would just all have tricorders that would do everything that their tricorder did. But I didn't realize Star Trek could have had the phone, but they had the communication comm link on their thing.
Yeah, the comm badge. Which that's all next generation.
Yeah.
I mean, original Star Trek, they had the communicator, you had to flip
Oh, that's right. He had a communicator, which was different from the tricorder.
Yeah.
The communicator.
Because the early flip phones, that's what we all wanted. We all wanted Star Trek communicators.
Yeah, you're right. We did want.
Everybody was trying to do that, and it never worked. It just ended up the phone broke. The hinge always broke.
But I did like when you could close, when you could shut when you're talking to somebody, you go, okay, I gotta go. You can.
Yeah.
Boy, that hung up on them quick.
Yeah. It was satisfying.
Yeah, that was a good
satisfying to be like, all right, I'm done. And
Yeah.
just close it down and,
I miss those days.
Yeah. But then the other phone habit with those because I had one, if you try to like pin the phone to your shoulder, it would end up squishing that hinge and make that hinge break. That's what happened to my flip phone.
I could see that.
Because this is before Bluetooth.
Yeah.
So it was a couple of years before they started putting a little headphone jack on that.
That's true. Yeah, the little 1/8 incher.
Yeah. The TR.
My cell phones, even up until like probably the last 2 phones, it was always charger ports. Back in those days, every phone model had a different plug.
Different charge, yeah.
And they didn't hold charge, so you're always plugging in and out, and you it was planned obsolescence. You couldn't have a phone for more than a year and a half because that charger port's gonna shit the bed.
Yeah, something's gonna break on it.
Yeah, so plugging in that thing and all these cords and everything's different, and it was a nightmare.
I still have all my cell phones.
I do too. I have a cell phone drawer. You have a cell phone drawer
Yeah.
of all the old cell phones.
Yeah.
I don't know what we're gonna do with them. Gonna start a museum?
Yeah, may as well. Yeah, I've got all of them.
I do. A couple of mine have the old SD cards in them, and I think to myself, I wonder what's on those. Like they'd be kind of funny to see.
Oh, I pulled the storage cards.
I haven't pulled storage cards. I just when the phone died, I just went in the drawer, the phone drawer.
Yeah, but all those cards from back then, they're tiny. They're like 1 gig and 2 gig. It's like, oh my God, this is nothing. It's so
But it would be a blast from the past to see like your old phones.
It sucks.
Or if you could fire it up and see like if your old text history would show up and see who you're texting at the time,
Boy, I don't know. Maybe.
That would be weird.
Yeah, that would be. It's like Time Machine.
yeah. Like an old time machine of your old texts. Wow.
Because my first phone was like, they call it a candy bar. And this was the joke, if you ever watch Zoolander, it's the joke of the tiny cell phones, because they were just getting smaller and smaller every year. But then they started putting screens on it and accessing the internet on the phone, and then they started getting bigger and bigger to where they're at now. Because for a while, they were like small little candy bar sized phones. My first one was a little Samsung. That thing was great. It worked in elevators and everything. I never had dead spots.
That's true. I didn't either. I had an old track phone. Now you had to input I had to buy the card.
Yeah, the SIM card.
No, I had to buy the card of minutes.
Oh.
Input. It was
so
a
you
track
had prepaid.
Phone. Yeah, prepaid.
Oh, I see.
But it did have, the reception was incredible.
Right?
Yeah.
And then my next one was the flip phone, and holding it up to your ear like this just broke the hinge, and that wasn't working.
Yeah, old cell phones. Oh man. Oh yeah.
And yeah, so all you had was the number pad, and so the early texting, the T9 texting. Like if you wanted B, you had to hit the ABC button twice. Which
it was a step above a pager.
It was a step above a pager. I never personally had a pager. When I moved to Arizona, I got a job.
You didn't have one in janitor gym days, in the work days when you were a janitor? No, I always thought you had a janitor pager.
No, we had a list and a ring of keys.
Wow.
That was it.
Wow, you would have thought they would have gave you a just-in-case pager.
No. It would just show up.
Wow, that's trust.
Well, there was one night I had Stakara working with me, and we go to work, and our supervisor guy isn't there. He doesn't show up. So I'm like, well, we got the list, we got the keys. I think somebody had given them to me, and they're like, yeah, we don't know where your soup is, but, here's the list. Load up on your supplies and hit it. So we're like, okay. So we went out and started hitting our stuff, and then at some point at one of our locations, the supervisor guy just showed up.
Weird. Yeah, I don't remember.
He was like running late, stuff came up and happened, but nobody could call anybody back then, so you didn't know.
That is true.
So he just popped out of the woodwork, and we weren't expecting. We were like, holy crap.
And it's funny how, like, I remember back, us being young teenagers, it was not rare that the payphone next to you would ring.
Oh, yeah.
And somebody would be like, hey, I'm looking for a Johnny. He's a guy with a red head. He's there. Look around. You look around. Hey, there's the guy with the red hat. Yeah, Johnny's right around. Hey, Johnny, come on over.
That's the thing, because we grew up.
Yeah.
We grew up in the old days. That was still a continuation of, because like I was saying, it's like that in those 1930s movies.
Yeah.
I saw in the 1930s movies where it was like a boarding house, almost like a dormitory sort of thing, and there was one phone on the floor.
Weird.
And there was all these different rooms that these showgirls lived in, And so the phone would ring. Whoever was like walking by, just getting out of the shower with their hair in a towel, whoever was closest would answer the phone. Hey, is Betty there? Betty who? And they tell you, oh, Betty, Mick Williams or whatever. And she's like, oh yeah, hold the line. And then they set the phone down. And then they go and they find Betty, there's a phone call, and it's like nobody's hurrying, nobody's, taking their time. But yeah, it was like that. Like at the mall, we used to hang out there at the little, you have to have a little sunken area, and there was a well with like payphones.
Yeah.
They would put the number of the payphone on the phone. So if you wrote down the number of that phone, I used to call up to the pit.
Yeah.
And, we would, because you could smoke in the mall, so we would hang out there and smoke.
Yeah.
So there would be somebody there all the time. They would answer the phone.
They'd
I'm like,
either answer the
hey,
phone,
who's this?
or I've answered the phone many times.
Yeah. If the phone was ringing, I'd be like, oh, maybe it's...
Well, you don't put it to your ear, though. You make sure, because there's like cheese whizer in it.
Sometimes people would fuck with you and put chewing gum on the phone.
Right. But, I mean, it was not unheard of for the phone to ring, and you could go, oh, hey, what's up, man? What are you doing?
Yeah. Oh, hey, it's
wow, that's weird.
It's Steve. Hey, what's going on, Steve? Hey, is blah, blah, blah around? Like, no, you know what? I haven't seen him here yet today. He's like,
tell him you called.
Yeah, or if you see him, tell him I'm looking for him, or give me a call because I'm waiting for him, whatever. And so it'd be like, then when you see the guy 2 hours later, you'd be like, hey, did you talk to Steve? I talked to him earlier on the phone. He said give him a call. He's at home waiting for you.
Yeah, it was weird. It was just this weird, but we were disconnected. But everyone's kind of connected. You knew where you were.
I mean, that's why I got turned on to Metallica. Was there hanging out? We call it the wall, where there was a little
smoking wall,
the little sunken area. Because the little sunken area it went down 2-3 steps, and then there were 2 phone banks. On a circular thing. So it was like three
a couple
phones on
benches
each.
and a plant.
Yeah, some benches, some plants, and some ashtrays with sand in them. And so you could just hang out there and smoke cigarettes and shit like that. And I remember getting turned on to Metallica. Somebody had a boombox and dubbed Metallica tape, heard Ride the Lightning for the first time. And I was like, this is dope. And I walked into the record store and bought it.
You can imagine, I always say that, like in the 70s, everything must have stunk. The mall, I couldn't imagine smoking a cigarette and listening to a ghetto blaster of Metallica in the middle of the mall right now. It'd be super loud and really out of place.
Right, but I mean...
But things were louder and bigger then, There's fountains splashing around, you don't see fountains anymore.
But also, I mean, so this is early 80s, not 70s, but the boomboxes were new.
Yeah.
That was a new thing.
Huh?
But also, this was a few years before the giant car stereos. Once the giant car stereos came, people got real touchy about noise pollution.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, but they focus on the outside. But you're right. And there's always the guy with the big kicker stereo.
In the car?
Yeah.
Yeah, once that came in.
I didn't like those people.
What was the name of the place here in town? It used to be right up there on Peach Street. Remember?
It'd be like Enormous Audio or something, or like some...
No, what was the name of the...
Empire Audio or something.
Was that it?
I don't know, something like that. It'd be like something, Empire Audio, Neon Zipper.
No, there was a name of it, I can never remember the Erie one, because I have it in my head from out in Phoenix. It was Audio Express. They had 7 locations across the valley. Audio Express, your audio,
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it was just like
experts.
a Radio Shack for car stereo.
No, it was car stereos and alarms. That's what they did. So you'd bring your car in, you buy your car stereo and an amp and speakers and shit, and they'd put it in like an hour or 2. They'd bang it out all the time.
I feel like all the people we knew kind of did it themselves.
A lot did.
Yeah, and it'd be like all weird wiring jobs and things hanging down, and they'll look like, oh, Jesus Christ, you electrocute yourself.
That was a thing, horsing around with all that crap.
Yeah.
Things were barbaric back then. But then again, yeah, like you say, like in the mall, like even like smoking in the mall seems so absurd now.
Yeah.
But at the time that the mall was built and everything, everybody was smoking.
Yeah, I guess it was just a thing.
Because that thing started in like about the time we were born, right? 69, 70, 71, something like that?
I guess. I mean, I don't, what, malls?
Yeah, no, the Mill Creek Mall.
Oh, yeah.
Because last time I was up at the mall, I was just walking around in there. They have like a thing about the history of the mall.
Oh, right.
And they got photos of like when they broke ground and when they first built it and the renovations that they did. You know what the funny thing is?
The whole shaped like a gun.
Yeah, odd. So odd. And it totally is.
Yeah, our mall, Mill Creek Mall in Erie, is shaped like a gun.
Yeah, look it up on Google Maps or whatever.
Yeah, it's pretty funny.
Yeah, it's shaped like a gun. They had all these photos from all these different time periods and stuff like that, except the time period that we were there. There were 0 photos of the 80s.
Huh. Weird.
I know. Because, dude, the mall back then in the 80s was the internet today.
Yeah, it was like Fast Times at Ridgemont High.
Like, if you wanted, to
The metal
shop,
gear. Yeah, it was like a
see
metal
what was
version
out
of Fast
there,
Times at Ridgemont
all
High.
the stores, it was the place to be. And, like, every place in the mall had stores in it. They were all cranking, doing business, everything.
Especially on a Saturday. Saturday
my God.
afternoon at the mall was just like, wow.
Yeah, because Sundays it was only open till 5.
Yeah.
You know, and people were doing church till noon. So, you know, if you needed
Saturday at the
something,
mall, that was the thing.
I mean, yeah, because the mall had like a 2 or 3 screen movie theater in it.
Mm-hmm.
They had 2 arcades. They had a bar, a restaurant, couple of restaurant bars.
Mm-hmm.
And then there were like, what?
Oh, we had everything from
6 department
piercing
stores?
pagodas to pet stores. I mean,
Yeah.
toy stores.
Yeah, shoe stores, clothing
Multiple.
stores.
There were like 3 toy stores.
Oh, yeah, like 3 toy stores, pet stores. You know,
It was everything. It was everything you can imagine.
There's a bank branch in
And it
there.
was packed.
Packed all the time.
Yeah.
People everywhere. You had the McDonald's. There wasn't a Burger King in there.
But people dressed up to go to the mall. You know, parents would. It was a thing.
Well, because you know it was
getting out.
in the '80s. It was sort of showing off.
Yeah.
You
It
know.
was the years of excess.
Yeah. I mean, there was the McCrory's, which was like a 5 and dime sort of store. There was the the record store, the leather store, Spencer's Gifts. You know, Chess King.
There's never an empty store, let alone there's people were just going from store. I mean, it was just always packed, you know, like shoulder to shoulder with people.
Yeah.
It was like Fast Times at Ridgemont High, only they had a 2-layered mall, 2-level. Ours was 1, but still
Yeah.
it's very similar in feel.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it was the place to be. You ran into people that you know, and you meet people at the mall. Yeah, you just get your parents to just drop you off. You just hang out at the mall for between 2 and 8 hours. You know.
Pretty much all day. Yeah.
Yeah, we used to go on a Saturday and just hang out. You know.
Yeah.
We were doing our thing and whatnot. But you know, you could go spend like an hour in the record store, just looking at record albums and reading the back and.
We loved that. Yeah.
Looking at stuff, or go over to the bookstore. You can look at books and comic books.
Yeah, the
and
bookstore was
the
always
library.
fun.
They had a library.
Yeah,
branch
we
right
actually
in there.
had a library.
You know, it was like you can spend, and then like I said, like two video game arcades. You know, if you had a couple of quarters, you know.
And there's actual legit places to eat, from pizza places to you know, Chinese to everything
Yeah,
you want.
McDonald's, the whole.
There's always a McDonald's.
Little food court thing at your Orange Julius's, your soft pretzels.
Yeah.
You know, yeah.
I miss those days though. I wish. You ever think the mall will make a comeback?
I don't think so.
I don't think so either.
I don't think so. I mean, I definitely got to the point where I got tired of like the mall. Like I would, like out in Arizona, it was such a hassle to park, walk so far, you know, get into the mall, and then you're like, I went on the wrong entrance. I'm on the other side of the mall from where I want to go, you know? Like if I just want to go to the electronics store and buy a new video game, you know?
Yeah.
And you go and I think it's by this Anchor store, you know, but it's not. It's the other one. I gotta walk all the way over there, walk all the way back. It's just such a hassle. Where it's like a strip mall, you can park and be much closer to walk in. You know the store's right there, you know.
Yeah, but I don't like the strip mall. It lacks the character, you know.
It
I
does-
think that's what ruined it.
It does lack the character. It does lack the character, but
it is more efficient.
Yeah, I definitely started preferring to go not to the mall. Like I would avoid the malls, out there in Arizona.
I liked.
Because out in Arizona, there were like 5 or 6 malls.
Her and I will walk around every now and then, but it just seems like a shell of itself.
Oh, they are.
Yeah, you know, and they're always just the big box stores and things like that, to where it's like, I'm not really looking for anything. You know, like at my age, I kind of got everything I need. There's nothing I'm really looking for, so it's kind of like, all right.
Well, the
She's
mall-
going to Victoria's Secret. Okay, I'm going to go up here. I'll look at H&M. All right.
Well, the mall was the marketplace, but then again, I mean, that's sort of how things were. Like if you wanted to go shopping, just see what's out there. You had to literally go see what was available at the store. That was it.
That is
is
true,
what was in the
and
stores.
looking at other people, because people dressed up fashionable. So there's this, you know, whatever the fashion of the time was, you could people watch. Like my dad he was a clothes buyer, so he would people watch the kids. He'd keep an eye on. He'd sit on a bench and just watch. And, you know,
Well, and also the clothing
see
stores.
what they're into.
Yeah, the clothing stores were serving different styles.
Yeah.
Like there was like, you know, the J. Crew store, which was more like, you know, quasi outdoor, you know, camping sort of stuff. And then there was like, what was that one? United Colors of Benetton, you know? It's all like, you know, it's a different demographic. It's like, you know, 14-year-old girls aimed at. Then there was like Chess King, which was more focused on like, you know, 17 to 19-year-old guys and stuff. And they had like sport jackets, and you could get that Miami Vice look and that sort of thing, and pleated pants, you know, shit like that. And there was a leather store, which had like, you know, biker leathers, leather wallets.
We always went to, we always made a stop at Wilson's.
Yeah, Wilson's.
Wilson's leather.
Because it was like, right there was like the McCrory's, which was like a discount department store. It's kind of like a Kmart. They kind of had everything in there. You know, they had like a pet department. You could get, you know, shoelaces, you know, stuff like that.
Oh, they had everything. Yeah, it was just, it had everything.
Yeah. And then next door to that was Wilson's, and then next to Wilson's was Spencer's, Spencer Gifts. Always good to go poke around Spencer Gifts and see what's there.
Yeah.
There was a cigar store.
It's funny, if you go to our mall now, Spencer's is the only store that was there from when we, in the same place that from when we were.
I don't know about that anymore.
Spencer's is still there.
Is it?
Oh yeah. Yeah, Spencer's is the only one that, and what's pretzels? Hot Sam's. Remember Hot Sam's, the pretzel place?
Soft pretzel place.
Those two are the only ones that have never moved since 1988.
Right.
Everything else has moved around, and even like they still have like, Pearson Pagoda, but it's not in the same place. You know what I mean? So things rotate.
I remember where Pearson Pagoda was. I remember when.
Or like Kaufman's and like things like that, and Macy's. They're, you know, or J.C. Penney's is still there.
Yeah.
But J.C. Penney's is the
there's
third
Penny's, Sears, Kaufman. What was the one that you just said?
Macy's.
No, not Macy's.
Well, there's Carlisle's for a short time.
Carlisle's for a while. Remember Kaufman's. Dahlkemper's had a whole thing for a while. Because they had their own building, and then they moved up there. There was a department store. They had everything at Dahlkemper's.
Yeah. Yeah, they even had a toy department on the second floor.
Oh, yeah. 100%.
Kaufman's would have like a restaurant. Like a real
yeah.
nice restaurant we'd go to. My parents would take us to some weird thing. You'd take the escalator up and you go to, we're going to the TikTok place. They had a big clock up there and it would be like a nice place.
I remember going there when I was a kid, like 6 years old, to meet Santa.
Yeah.
Get your picture taken with Santa.
Yeah, we went there every Saturday.
And it was like, I didn't know this was here. Yeah.
Yeah, it's weird. It's weird. And my mom and dad, they were all dressed. They'd have their nice suits on, and they'd be smoking cigarettes. All right. No, I think they were having martinis, but I couldn't be sure.
Yeah, probably.
But we would, okay, we're gonna have a soda, in a, ice cream soda.
Yeah, 'cause there were a couple places to drink up there. There was a Brown Derby, I remember. Your brother was always hanging out there.
Yeah.
And there was some sort of steak restaurant or something like that.
Yeah, it was like not a Texas Roadhouse, but a Roadhouse-y kind of thing.
Something like that. What was
You'd
the name
eat the
of
peanuts and throw the peanuts on the floor.
Was it a Ruth's Chris Steakhouse?
Something like that. You'd throw the peanuts on the floor.
Well, that was Ground Round. That was across the street.
Yeah, Brown Derby.
Brown Derby was the one right across from the library.
Yeah, the Brown Derby.
Yeah.
I think every mall had a Brown Derby or like the Ponderosa. All right, we're going to Ponderosa to eat.
Yeah.
Ponderosa kicks ass.
Yeah, I've never been.
You never went to a Ponderosa?
Huh. No, there've been a lot of places I haven't gone to.
I know. Why is that? Because you're not adventurous.
Well, honestly, growing up, we almost never went out to eat, other than we'd go to
your family
Italian
ate.
restaurant.
Yeah, you guys ate around the table. Yeah, we all went out to eat. But
Yeah.
you ate. Yeah, you guys were a good family, so you ate around the table.
Like once a week, we'd go out to when I was a kid, we'd go to Barbados. You know what I mean? Get some Italian food or whatever. But then it was Martusi's over on 24th and Myrtle. That place was good food.
So
we'd do that, but that was about it. We didn't go out to eat a lot because my dad was traveling for the phone company, so he was eating steak every night. So, we never went out to a steak joint or something like that.
Oh, we
And my dad was not doing I remember when we were kids, we begged him to take us to McDonald's once. I know, and I didn't know that McDonald's had onions in all the hamburgers. And I was like, that's gross.
McDonald's still sucks.
Oh yeah, McDonald's is terrible.
I think they got to go. You think they'll still be around in our lifetime?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, in some form.
Like Coca-Cola.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, you got to figure Coca-Cola's days are numbered as far as soft drinks.
Yeah, nobody really cares.
Most people don't do soft drinks that much.
No, they probably make their bread and butter off restaurant fountain drinks and shit.
No, I think they're making their bread and butter because Coca-Cola owns Dasani water.
Oh yeah, the portfolio.
The sports drink, not the Gatorade, the other one.
Yeah.
Powerade.
But the portfolio, yeah. But I mean, actual Coca-Cola, like cola.
Like sodas.
Yeah, I don't know.
Pop.
Pop. Yeah, we call them pop around here.
Yeah, it was always pop. Yeah, when I moved out west,
They call it soda out there?
They all called it soda, so I got on board with soda.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, soda makes better sense, even though around here it's pop.
Because it's funny, you'd run into somebody out there and they'd be like, oh, about pop. And I'm like, oh, you say pop? And they're like, yeah, I'm from the East Coast. You know, they'd be from like Massachusetts or Virginia or something like that.
Yeah.
You'd be like, oh, yeah.
Or they'd just say, grab me a Coke. You know, even though it'd be a Pepsi is a Coke.
Yeah, I think that's like a southern thing. That's what they do down south.
Yeah.
Like any soft drink is a Coke. Can I get a Coke? You know, it's like, you know.
That's all right. Wait, I had a question. I was going to ask you. Oh, let's see. I had a couple things. Well, I could tell you about my Temu adventures next week.
Oh, really?
Well, I'll preface this. Guess what I did? So
you bought something on Temu.
Oh, I bought a whole bunch of stuff.
Oh, really?
Well, I put like some money onto my Venmo card, so they wouldn't have my bank account.
Oh, I see.
Just to keep a wall there.
So what? You got a Venmo credit card or debit card?
Debit card.
Okay, so that goes to your Venmo account. So it's not your actual checking account.
Yeah.
It's sort of like a dummy account.
Yeah.
It's a good firewall. Venmo's good for that.
Yeah, I like that. I like it. So I was like, so if you ever go to the Temu site,
I have not.
there's a bunch of pop-ups that'll be like, oh, spin the wheel, 80% off.
I did end up on Temu.
And shit's happening, bling, 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 overstimulating. Oh my God, I'm getting stimulated. Whoa, 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 it's coming at you. Well, eventually when it all calms down, you'd be like, all right, I'm scrolling. And you see things and you go, wow.
Yeah.
Seriously?
Yeah.
So I go, seriously, let me try this. So a while back I go, I'm going to start low. We'll start with, wow.
So wait, is it a bidding type situation?
Nope. You just buy it, but they have certain deals going on.
Yeah.
So, okay, they had a deal for $1.
Yeah, and they look like crazy deals because it's like $1.
Yeah, like I got this mag light. You know, I started with the mag light, like a flashlight that you could telescope out the thing. You know, it's long.
Sure.
You know, it was like, I want to say it was like $2.88, and then the shipping was like $3, so it ended up being like $5.
What sort of batteries does that take?
USB. Has no batteries.
Oh, brother.
Right. So, but there are things that you would find in Asia that you probably wouldn't find around here that are like kind of like Chinese knockoffs or their own weird technology. But I was just testing to see, like, will I get what they say? You know, so I go, okay. So I get the mag light. The mag light comes. They actually sent me 2 of them in a pack as opposed to 1 for like $5, and they're long and killer. And this thing's like a spotlight, man.
Yeah, it works good.
It's killer. Absolutely clear. So I'm like, all right, I'm hooked. Now it took like 2 weeks to get there. I totally forgot about it. So it was kind of fun, like to come home from work one day and be like, hey, I got something in the mail. What was this? Oh, it's those flashlights. Well,
I had a period where I went through that.
Yeah. Well, I went Temu crazy. So I bought like a whole bunch of stuff that's like under the $10 limit, right? And here I go. Now the addiction was starting to magnify themselves. I'll tell you where we end up. But then after that, I got like, I got a mag light that wraps around your head, you know. So if
like a headlamp?
Yeah, a headlamp.
Oh.
That's nice. That came exactly as is. That ended up being like $3.88. You know, but it's really nice. And then we go. I was like, I gotta get Tina something. So I got her some stainless steel cutting boards.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, which stainless steel cutting boards? Those just came today.
You know, the only problem with those is it's going to dull your knives.
That's what it says.
Yeah.
But we have a knife sharpener. We're fine. But okay, what else did I get? I got solar lights that go into your...
garden
for
path.
outdoor. Yeah, that are, you know... Normally, I got them for... I would pay like $4 a piece for them. I got them like for 88 cents a piece. You know, little things like that. Then I was like, all right, well, I'm going to try some slip-on sneakers.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I never had slip-on sneakers.
Really?
Never did.
Dude, that's all I'm doing these days.
Well, I thought they all look kind of stupid to me. You know, like as far as like, because I look at a shoe and I say, that's a piece of art. That's pretty good. Yeah, those ones are fine, but they're
sort of like a loafer.
Yeah, but I don't want to look like dad's shoe. You know what I mean? So I want something a little hip. I'm kind of hip guy. So, but I never had any that were laceless, you know.
Well, some of them, instead of laces, they're elastic bands.
Here we go. So here's the shoe I got. Look at that. And it's got these little boing, boing, boing.
Right, exactly.
I can slide right in. It's a nice little ergonomic. It's light. This is waterproof and everything like that. I just got them. Super nice. With shipping, this was 13 something.
Not bad.
Yeah, and these shoes you would easily pick, in a store. They're nice. And I was like, $13. Now, the only downside to the Temu shopping is things take a while, and they hammer your email. So, but I have an alternate email where I send shit like that too.
Shopping account.
Yeah. So
when you say hammer your email, like with updates on your order, or just
both that and then
sale.
Yeah, spin now. Come back. Try this. You get this for $2. We saw you like this. We saw you were shopping at that.
Have a super happy lucky day.
Oh yeah. Well, I also see. Our lights right here.
Yeah.
I got like 2 mini versions of them with the stands, and then the little square light. It's probably about this big. Each light, and it has a stand that comes down and it's collapsible, and it's USB powered, dimmable, and I got a pair for $22, so basically $11 a piece with the stands.
There you go.
So there are little things like that. Now they're all things you would probably go, I don't need that. But it's fun when you're on the crapper and you're like, all right, I'm gonna go. I think I need some rattly teeth. All those little micro buys you think you might want.
Well, that's the sort of stuff I used to do at the hardware store when stuff wasn't stupidly expensive.
Yeah.
You'd be walking through and like I got one of those work lights that's on a stand, and it's got 2 work lights, like big halogen bulb things. Like it was like $30 or $20, and I was like, I'll grab that. Now it's like $80. It's like you got to check with your banker before making that sort of investment purchase.
These are all purchases that I'm pretty sure if at full price, like these sneakers, you would probably easily see them for like $35.
$40.
Yeah, I don't have $40 to spend on a try on sneakers.
Well, the point is, you wouldn't spend $40 on those, but $13, give it a shot. Give it a try.
So that's what I'm
doing.
doing.
The dice.
Yeah, and it's really kind of fun once every couple of days coming home to something in your mailbox.
Well, see, I had a period out in Arizona when I was doing that. I was living in the apartment with my guitar player, and he worked weekends. He was a chef, so I was just home alone all weekends. I had discovered eBay.
Oh boy!
So I would just go on eBay and, like you were doing, just roll through and hey, grab that. It was like I would get like. This is when movies came out on DVD.
Yeah.
So I would get like, used DVDs for like $2, $3, $4, shit like that.
Yeah.
Used video games,
I could see it.
I was ordering all sorts. And so I would just order and then move on with my day. And so after a certain point, it was like every day I came home, there was like a package or two, or every couple of days there'd be a package. Like every day was Christmas,
Yeah.
And I would forget what I ordered.
Yeah, this gloomy weather void, it's kind of actually giving me a weird endorphin rush. Like, all right.
Well, that's the rash consumerism.
It is. I'm not going to go big on anything. So.
We should make t-shirts that say, I'm a victim of rash consumerism.
I am. Yeah, I know. Temu is a weird addiction. It is. And the site invigorates you. It's like, oh my gosh, 20% off. Oh, here, win this $100.
They make it feel like gambling, like video poker or something.
Yes, and it's dinging and donging and dinging and donging. And it's like, wow.
Yeah. What about like, you ever look at like Deal Dash? Where it's one of those
but
bidding
it's similar
sites.
to that, huh?
It's one of those bidding sites.
You're right.
Where you're actually, you buy these credits and then you bid the credits.
Right. Here's where I like that concept, except for they charge you the credits that you buy to make a bid. If you get outbid, you lose that credit.
Right.
So that's where I feel like they're going to get you in the long run.
It's got to be working out that way somehow.
Because I feel like a bot could really jack up your price and suck your credits.
Well, that was the thing back when you were doing the eBay stuff, because you were doing the actual auctions on eBay. I didn't do any of the auctions unless it was I like the auction. I think I only did an auction like maybe a couple of times, because I remember you were all into it for a while. You're like,
well, when I was selling and buying.
Yeah.
Are you talking when I was buying or selling?
Buying.
Buying, yes.
Yeah, because I
That's
remember.
when I had a little FU money, so I was doing, I got a couple guitars and things like that,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah, and I remember you
Straps
being like, oh, I got to bid in on this, man. The auction ends on Tuesday, you know. I hope.
Yeah, and I would do it.
Yeah. I think I did a couple auctions, but I found it mostly annoying.
Yeah, I did too, because I kept checking in on it, and then I would start getting attached to the item, and then when
Yep.
you lose it, you go, sons of bitches.
Yep. So I started just buy it now, you know.
Yeah.
And sometimes, like, I got my 5-string Music Man bass off eBay.
Well, that's the thing. Back in 2012 and 2013, eBay was still a little bit the Wild West. Now, you get to about 2015, 16, everybody, especially with music, and then you get to about the pandemic, 2020, everybody knows the intrinsic value of everything.
Oh, yeah, these days
So
it
there's
sucks.
no real deals to be had unless somebody's a crackhead and you got lucky. But even that, you know, if somebody
Dude, you know the difference now in price between brand new and used?
not much.
$50. That's it.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah. See, back in early, like 2009, 2005, eBay was the Wild West, and you could get great deals.
You get great deals.
Yeah.
Dude, I bought so much stuff off eBay. I bought like video game systems, television, you know, DVD players.
Yeah, I used to buy like
Computer-
jeans and stuff, expensive like buckle jeans that were
Yeah.
usually $100. I get them for like 12,
Yeah.
15.
Yeah, I got so much stuff. And honestly, I never had a problem with anything. You know?
Yeah, no, my sellers were always pretty good.
One time I got an Xbox and some games and stuff like that, like all together in a package deal. And right when I did the buy it now and bought it, very shortly thereafter, I got an email saying the sellers closed their account. And I was like, what? You know, and I reached out to him and I sent him a message or whatever. And they were like, yeah, don't worry, it's an eBay thing. Like they're kind of screwing us on this thing. But I got exactly what I ordered, just as described. They were like, yeah, don't worry, I'm sending it out. And yeah, they did. Never had any issues with anything.
Yeah, I should tell the story real quick. Do I got time? Yeah, I got a little time. Back in the Wild West, remember me telling you the story? 2000, let's say 14, maybe it was. It's 11 o'clock at night on a Sunday, and I'm watching, I want to say CNN or HLN, Headline News is on, and they go, Hostess company going out of business.
Ooh.
Twinkies will be no more. Goodbye, Twinkies. And it was an article, and I go, oh. So I immediately got up off the couch. I got in the car. I went to a couple Tops and two other the three main grocery stores, and I walked in, had my credit card, and I bought every box of Twinkie. And I probably had about 30, 40 boxes of Twinkies. Now, they looked at me like I was insane.
Yeah.
You know, but it was kind of funny. And I held on to them for about a week and a half. And I was like, all right. So I had this kitchen mountain of Twinkie boxes in, the box of 12.
Yeah.
In my living room and on my kitchen table. They were everywhere. And I was like, all right, so what am I going to do? Well, I'm going to sell them on eBay. Here we go. And started off, well, $7 a box. Buy it now. All right. Well, first two went quick. Well, let's up the price, and then they're getting more and more scarce. And then I was like, I better go out and get more Twinkies. And I'm going to different places, and Twinkies were nowhere to be had for about a week. And I was like, shit. All right. Well, buy it now. I was seeing other people sell them, $12 a box, $15 a box. It got up to the point I sold one box for $25.95 for a box of Twinkies.
Yeah.
And I was selling them left and right.
Yeah.
And I think I made probably a good, maybe $250, $275 profit. Because I was doing the numbers. I was like, I have my finger on the pulse. I'm going to make a business here. I was on the eBay rush. And it was the Wild West. And it was such a good feeling to know, like, I was right on, I had my finger on the pulse of consumerism. I had eBay. I had eBay. I bought all the Twinkies in Erie. I was selling them like a champ.
Yeah, there was a dude I worked with, I don't remember if it was like PlayStation 3 or 4, and they were delayed in getting in coming out, and everybody was eager for the new PlayStation or whatever. This kid that I worked with at the bank, he spent like $1,200 and got like 4 or 5 of them.
Wow.
So when they finally did, he pre-ordered them or something like that. He pre-ordered 5 of them. So when they did come in, He got 5 of them. So he kept one for himself, and he had 4 extras. So then he just sat on them for 2 to 4 weeks, and then all the PlayStations were bought out, and people were desperate to get PlayStations. And they were looking online at secondary market. Yeah, I think it was like October or something.
Oh, that's the move, yeah.
And so then he would post one on eBay, you know, and let the bidding commence, and he would get like, you know, because let's say he bought him for like $250.
Yeah.
That's the street value that they were going for. I don't know if it's PlayStation 3 or 4. Probably 3. I don't know.
I remember when there was a scarce, yeah.
Yeah, and because there was like a production delay. They're supposed to be out the previous Christmas, and then it got delayed to like May, and then it was delayed to like October or something like that. I don't know why. This is way before pandemic. And
yeah, that could have been like 2011, 12.
Yeah, and I think he was getting like $600 for him. So he was
and $600 in 2012 was a lot more.
Well, he was making like 150% over the cost of the unit.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So he had like 4 of those, so that was all pure profit on all 4 of those. So he definitely made his money back. So he made back the money that he used to buy the 5.
Yeah.
But he had his, so he essentially got himself a free PlayStation.
Yeah.
Smart.
Yeah, that's the move.
Yeah, good move.
You got to have your finger on the pulse on that, you know. I know, and I was whenever the weird rush that hit me, and the fact that I jumped off my couch and was like, I'm going to the store and buying all the Twinkies in town.
Yeah.
I felt so entrepreneurial and alive, man. I can't tell you how alive I felt. It was such a good feeling. But then about maybe 4 weeks, 5 weeks later, it was kind of like, then Hostess got rebought again. Twinkies are back. And I was like, oh, well, but by that point, I'd sold them all out anyway.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, so. But, I mean, you buy a box of Twinkies, I think at that time they were probably like $4.99, $3.99.
Yeah.
Not a lot.
No.
It was way before inflation, so it was $3.99. Selling at its height was selling them for $25. But
so even if you sold it for like $7 or $8, you're getting 150%.
yeah, I think the bulk of them went for like 13 to 15, somewhere in there.
Because you're covering costs, and then you're doubling costs. Like I was thinking in musician terms, like a dotted.
Yeah,
like a dotted.
Yeah, I
like
basically doubled my money and paid for shipping.
Right.
You know, in a roundabout sense.
Yeah, and it's not anything, you know, like you say, it's like a timing thing. It's like a quick strike thing you can do now. It's not sustainable.
No. But I had stars in my eyes, you know.
Well, it was a good move at the time, especially if you need to do something like buy a new amp or buy a new guitar or something like that. You can leverage something like that, like my friend did with the PlayStations. He got himself a free PlayStation, you know?
Yeah. It was just the lightning struck at the right time, supply and demand. But eBay was the Wild West back then. That was the beauty of it. But now you go on eBay, everything's got an intrinsic value. There's no...
Everybody knows the value of everything. Everybody's trying to get rich off everything. Like I'm telling you, I've been looking for a secondary camera for us for down here for filming. The difference between a brand new one and a used one, the difference is $50.
Which is bullshit.
I mean, if I could get the camera body for $1,000, you know, like getting a used version is like, you know, like $50, maybe $100 less, maybe $150, like nothing. Used to be like you could get a used camera for like, you know, 50, 60% of the new value.
Yeah, or there'd be just some entrepreneurial crackhead who'd sell it, or a thief, you know.
Yeah.
Whatever happened to the old car thieves selling
Well,
shit?
when I bought my box sets of Sopranos,
Yeah.
it was because I used to send a message to the seller and communicate with him or something like that. And so I had reached out to this lady. I'm like, are these full American releases of Sopranos? And she's like, yeah. I broke up with my boyfriend and he moved out and left these here, so I'm selling them for cheap. And I'm like, bought, sold.
Yeah.
Sold, lady. Send them on over.
Yeah.
That's what I have.
Yeah, that's when the Wild West. I love the Wild West of eBay.
Yeah, like when I got my 5-string Music Man, it was some dude down in Florida, and I messaged him, and I was like, you know, I asked him a couple of questions, and I'm like, cool, I want to buy it. Like, let me buy it right now because it was on auction. And he's like, oh, eBay says I have to wait for the auction thing to end. Mm-hmm. He's like, if it were up to me, I'd sell to you right, because he was asking like whatever he was asking for, like $900 or whatever it was. Yeah. A steal for 5-string Music Man, actual Music Man. And I was like, cool, great. I was figuring on $1,000, so it's $100 less than my budget was. Perfect. Let's do it.
Yeah.
And And he's like, oh, I got to wait for the auction to end or whatever. I'm like, cancel the listing. He's like, how do you do that? And so I looked it up and researched it, copy and pasted. Here's how you cancel your listing.
Yeah.
So he canceled his listing. I PayPal'd him the money. He shipped it on out. Still got it to this day.
Yeah. Yeah, back I got that Earl Slick's guitar right from Earl Slick.
Was that Reverb or was that eBay?
No, it was before Reverb.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
I thought that was
right
eBay.
from eBay. He put Earl Slick guitar, you know?
Yeah, you got a
and I was like,
certificate of authenticity and all that.
Yeah. He even sent me his record, his thing. He signed the pick guard. It's the whole thing.
Yeah, I remember when you got that.
It still to this day smells like his cologne. Like, I know his cologne smell. Like, if I was to walk up to him, I could smell him. I know what Earl Slick smells like.
Probably rubbed all over his body.
Yeah. But I got his black and white Thunderbird or Firebird.
Yeah.
But at the time, it was $2,200, you know?
It was a pretty good deal.
Yeah. And he said, oh, I used this on the 2005 David Bowie tour, you know? I was like, and there's pictures of him playing it next to Bowie, and I was like,
right.
oh my God.
Yeah.
Click.
That was sort of a fun one.
Yeah. That was one of the ones where I put in a bid, and I ended up winning the bid. That was one of those ones where it's like, oh, it's going to close at midnight. I got to be home. You know?
Yeah.
I was drinking a glass of wine and all right, up the bid.
Refresh.
Yeah.
The problem that I had with the eBay was I would do a couple of those the auction things, and it would be like I'd be the winning thing for like a week and a half, and then like people would make bots that go in the last 30 minutes of the bid.
Problem.
They go in and just start throwing money at it, and then all of a sudden it gets priced up to the max of what you set it to be. Because they'll find whatever your max is and beat your max.
Yeah, by 50 cents or something stupid. I know.
And then all of a sudden you're losing. And it happened to me one time, and I got so fucking pissed about it. I was like, God damn it. Because like you say, you get attached to it. You really want it.
Yeah.
And then the seller reached out to me 2 days later, and he goes, yeah, that person that won the auction wasn't a real person. It's on the other side.
Yeah.
He's like, they weren't a real person. They flaked out, and they didn't end up buying it. And they're like, but you were the next bidder, so you could buy it now. And I was like, nope, I've moved on.
Yeah. I always thought there was a thing where they roped you into if you were the next in line, you have to buy it.
I don't have to.
No.
Nope.
Yeah, they can fuck off.
Yeah.
But bots are bullshit.
Yeah, the bots is bullshit, man. Like, I'm not wasting my time waiting and hoping on this thing for a whole week, and I'm the winning bid, and then the last 30 minutes you're coming in with some little algorithm program you made that's gonna just come in and hit refresh and like automatically outbid people. Fuck you.
Yeah.
Like, that's a waste of my time.
Yeah.
That's why I just stopped doing it. That's when I really started reaching out to people directly. Be like, hey, I want to buy this. Price is right. I can PayPal you the money right now. Mail this out tomorrow.
Yeah.
And sometimes people are like, done.
Yeah, sometimes they
They jump on it. Because when it was regular people just wanting to clear stuff out, you know?
True, yeah, and it's a definite sale. Buy it. Yeah, you're buying it now.
Yeah, and they're putting buy it now. So they're putting the price that they want, you know? Like my Dyson vacuum I got, it was like a used refurbished. It was like $300. You know,
Dyson for 300?
Yeah.
Like with the ball?
This is before the ball.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's that gray one that I have. I got it refurbished off eBay.
Yeah.
You know, and it was like, buy it now for this, and I'm like, it's a good price. It's the one I want. It's the one for animals, because me and my guitar player, we each had a cat, so.
Pets.
Yeah. To get with the pet or the animal version or whatever.
Yeah, it kind of sucks. By the time we got to the pandemic, not only the bots were hot, but yeah, everybody knows what everything is worth.
And everybody's trying to squeeze every last dime out of it.
Yeah.
You can't find a good deal on anything. I've been looking at these used cameras, older cameras, 12-year-old used cameras, like a Panasonic GH4, which they got GH5 2s now. Like, this is old technology, but it still works for our needs, for all that we need. It's like $700. It's like, this should be like $400.
Yeah.
Yeah,
this is crazy.
It's nutty with the prices and everybody trying to get rich and score off everything. It's super annoying.
Because you mix inflation with greedflation, and then on top of that, mix a little somebody trying to get their cut in the middleman, and it's just unaffordable.
Yeah, everybody's trying to make a business out of it. It's like, ugh. It's no fun anymore.
No, it's not fun. It's not fun.
It's hardly worth it at all.
No, that's why I was enamored by Temu and their weird little Chinese stuff. Like I said, you got to wait 2 weeks. You know, it's not in any hurry. But some stuff. I want to say something. Oh, the cutting boards ended up coming from Concord, Ohio. So there's, you know, they work through secondhand.
No, they don't.
No?
What they're doing is when they put out the tariff thing, so that's why you're getting it in 2 weeks instead of 6. Temu used to have a lead time of about 6 weeks for shipping. So to get around the tariffs, what they started doing was, because if you ordered it straight from China, there'd be tariffs added onto it. It's like if you do shit in England, they got the VAT, the value-added tax, it's the same sort of thing. So what they started doing is those Temu companies or whatever, or Temu itself, started setting up warehouses here in America. So that's why. You're getting within 2 weeks because that's standard UPS shipping, 7 to 10 business days.
Yeah.
So 10 business days is 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So that's probably what they're doing is cheapest shipping method from a warehouse in the U.S.
Yeah.
Which is Amazon's whole thing too.
You know, everyone's got this thing like, I'm not gonna buy cheap Chinese goods, and
well, that is definitely a thing.
Yeah, it is definitely a thing. But I'll
be careful
tell you what,
with all that electronic stuff too.
Yes, because it's unpatented and unsafe, and you know, there's kind of probably weird knockoff things inside it.
Because any of those things with those batteries, those batteries can go out of control and be a lithium-ion battery fire.
Yeah, I wouldn't buy anything sustainable like I said, I'm buying like solar lights for my outside. I bought a mag light. I got a light for my head. I got sneakers, you know, dumb shit, a belt, you know.
But even still, anything that's got its own battery in it.
Yeah.
Like if it's cheaply made stuff, that battery could like, you know, malfunction and go into thermal overheating where it melts down and becomes a fire. Like, so remember those hoverboard scooters they had with the 2 wheels and the little deck and people lean forward and they go
why weren't those? Oh, like I know.
Little hoverboards or whatever.
You talking the ones with the handles?
Nope.
You're talking actual like look like skateboards like on Back to the Future? Hoverboards?
No, they're called hoverboards. You stand on it sideways. It's got 2 wheels on either side and it's got like the deck in here you put your feet on. If you lean forward a little bit, it goes forward, it goes back. People were doing those. People were digging those. Like, they started outlawing those in New York City because people were ordering the cheap ones off Amazon, and then they have them plugged into a charger, and it bursts into flames, and it burns down the whole apartment building, and people were getting killed. Same thing with the e-bikes, the cheap e-bikes, and also the Chinese-made electric vehicles. Like I said, there are these guys that have a YouTube channel. It's called The China Show now. These guys lived in China, and so they talk about like what's going on in China and stuff like that. They show footage all the time. Those cheap Chinese products like that melt down and burst into flames, and it's like they always get video of people driving along in the Chinese electric vehicle companies called BYD, and they're going to be shipping them into Canada and stuff like that.
I heard about that. Yeah.
They're garbage. They burst into flames.
Like Yugos, electric Yugos.
It's meltdown. Like, they show you videos where people are just like driving along and all of a sudden it starts, you know, steaming and smoking, and then it's fire under the hood, and it's like the sort of fire that melts something, and then it's like a blast furnace blasting out. You can't put it out with water.
Wow.
It's out of control.
Crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy. And it, you know, it lights the cars next to it on fire too, and it's like,
but
so be careful with
I know.
that. You know.
Yeah, I wouldn't buy anything like, but
it could be something even small, you know.
Well,
like,
I'm not worried about a mag light or anything like that.
Because like if I go on Amazon and I need something like a power bank or even a power adapter or something like that, I try and go with the brand thing.
Oh yeah.
Even if it's like StarTech or, you know, PowerCell or something like that, rather than, you know, just some random string of letters.
I'm losing audio. Power's blinking.
Oh, are you?
Yeah, my audio power's blinking. I think we got to wrap it anyway.
Yeah, mine's still good, but yeah. If your guy's flashing, then yeah, we're getting to the end of it.
We're out of here.
So okay, so yeah, let's wrap it up here. This is good for this week's episode. We're at an hour and a half.
Yeah, we're doing good.
So okay, cool. Thanks for watching. Thanks for hanging all the way through. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the chat today. If so, let us know. Send us a comment or shoot us an email at thedooCast@gmail.com. Please like us. It helps YouTube know what to do. We want to get more people to watch it. Recommend it to friends if you think they'll enjoy it too. Hopefully you're just listening to us while you're at work or whatever, and it's enjoyable to you. Send us any questions, comments, tell us a story, ask us for advice. It'll be fun.
Love your pets.
Yeah, love your pets, and we'll see you guys next week.